Hey there, I'm Blue, and welcome to Pathway to the Peak, where we break down and learn everything you need to know to safely get to a specific peak pose. So get ready to take flight, because today we're aiming for Garudasna. So let's go. Okay, so let's get started on our backs. Shift the hips forward, press into the palms, lift the chest, take a deep breath in, and lower yourself down and find your positioning here. Find your space on the mat, shifting yourself around. Just becoming familiar with your body and what it feels like. Becoming familiar with your breath. Checking into where your mind is. And just letting go of anything that you may have brought with you, anything that you could possibly let go, anything that you don't need for this practice. Anything that might steal this experience away. Let those thoughts go. And just let yourself fall back into your breath here. And it's a nice energetic practice, this one. So we want to become really in touch with the breath. We're going to be breathing into the frame or into the rib cage. We're going to be expanding into the upper body, keeping the energy up. So we'll eventually bring our Ujjayi breath in, our Ujjayi pranayama. But for now, just start to feel your breath, start to feel the expansion and the contraction, and just let it settle you in. Just establish this moment. And just settling in with each breath. Feeling yourself lengthen. Feeling yourself relax. But the energy isn't waning. We're relaxing, but we're focused. So as you become more and more familiar with the breath, start to bring in your Ujjayi breath here. As you inhale, imagine the lower ribs lengthening away from the hips, the spine lengthening. As you exhale, feel the front body wrap in, feel the lower back lengthen. You might even feel a little bit of weight, a little bit of intention, a little bit of pressure through the soles of the feet here. Inhale. And our pathway to Garudasna, it's pretty much a full body experience. So run your awareness up and down as you're breathing. Notice your feet, notice your hips, your spine. Your neck, your shoulders especially. Notice where your shoulders are sitting. Notice what each shoulder feels like. Maybe notice what each component of your shoulder feels like. Your shoulder blades, or your arm, or your collarbone. Still with breath here. And we'll start to take a couple of pelvic tilts as we inhale. Letting your pelvis roll forward, letting your chest expand, and your upper body, your upper spine lengthen, and then grounding down. Letting the tailbone expand, or letting the tailbone extend or press towards your heels. The lower back's extending here. We're creating space in upper and lower body, but we're also creating abdominal contractions. We're creating strength, and we're creating recruitment. Give yourself a long exhale here. Inhale. Feel the power in that breath. But not effort, not forcefulness. Feel the energy build, feel your strength build. Feel your focus sort of hone in just on your body, just on your breath. One more breath. Take a deep breath in. One more pelvic tilt before we start to create some movement here. Give yourself a long exhale. Perfect. Maintaining a small amount of contraction in the abdominals here. We're going to heel toe the feet out. Still imagine you're pointing your tailbone through that space in between your feet, like it's shining towards the space in front of you. Wing the elbows out wide. Open the arms out to the side if you like. Rock the knees over to the right hand side. Press off the left heel, so we're creating or maintaining the energy in here. In this posture, we're inhaling, coming back up. And exhale. Try to scoop the tailbone under as you press into the right heel here. Opening up over the front body, starting to create a bit of release in the hips. And exhale as we come over to the right hand side. Now once again, scoop the tailbone under, press your pubic bone forward, or imagine you even trying to lift your pubic bone towards your navel and press into that left heel for that lovely opening out over the left hip. We'll do a couple more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Letting the hip lift off the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Shift the feet around. If you need to bring the heel back a little bit, that's fine. If you want to bring it further away from the body, that's cool. Try to resist creating any tension in the knee or unnecessary tension in the knee. One more over to the left. Exhale. Coming back up. Grounding down through the soles of the feet. You can keep the feet out wide if you like, or bring them back into hip distance. It doesn't matter too much. What we're going to do from here is bring the arms down by the hips, cross the hands over, so just crossing the wrists over, bend the elbows, reach up overhead. Feel what's happening in your upper body now. Bring the hands down around the sides of the body. So we're creating these big, I'm going to shift myself over for a bit more room. We're creating these big revolutions here with the arms. And exhale. Yes, as the arms come back in towards the body, maybe use the inhale to expand. But as we reach up overhead, still creating a little bit of pressure through the lower back. Keeping the chest bright, inhaling. Keeping the neck long, so we're creating as much length as we can. Coming all the way around. And you'll feel some really nice warmth in the shoulders here. And if you have any movement restrictions in your shoulders, then just doing your best. One arm might move less than the other, and that's fine. Now, I haven't counted how many I've done, but we might come back in the opposite direction. I'd say that's ample amount. We might flip the palms up away from the body even. And for that lovely opening up over the side body. Oh, that feels so nice. And then cross the palms over. Bring the hands down. Flip the palms over, reach up. Cross the hands over. All the way up overhead. Bend the elbows, wing the arms out. Now it's this flipping the palms, reaching towards the space above you, I suppose, above the crown of the head, and extending feels so nice. And we're just starting to warm into all those muscles that are going to take us into our final peak pose. And it's so nice sort of just checking into all these little spaces, all these body parts we're going to use, these muscle systems, or muscle groups, should I say. And just finding out that they're all there. Very nice. Now let's bring the palms together, reach up overhead. Now if you feel the lower back lifting because the weight of the arms, let's counter that by squeezing down, tuck tailbone, or even point your tailbone towards your heels. You can put a little bit of pressure through the heels if you like. Let's take 3 breaths here. You'll start to feel the abdominals warm up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. You can soften the elbows a bit if you like. Exhale. not exposing the throat too much. Inhaling, exhaling. Now we're actually going to cross the hands over, let the backs of the hands press into one another and reach further away from the mat here. So the elbows or the arms will come in sort of closer towards the ears now. You're going to feel this nice opening out over maybe the triceps, I suppose, the lats where they connect up here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, really squeeze the backs of the hands into one another. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, maintaining that front body engagement. One more, inhale. Release, flip the palms out, come all the way back around here. We might bring hands back to lower ribs, take a pelvic tilt, inhale, lift the chest or arch the back here. Exhale, squeeze down through the lower back, let that movement flow up into the tailbone as we bring the lift up into the soles of the feet, stacking the knees above the body here, above the hips. Now find your positioning, shift yourself around a little bit, find that lift through the tailbone, that wrapping in of the lower abdominals, breathing into the chest here. And we're just lining up, or we're just setting up for a twist, so we're just coming over to the right hand side. Now you don't have to make it too crazy if you just want to come over to a 45-degree angle. We're just playing with opening up into the lower back a little bit. Inhale, coming back up. And exhaling over to the left-hand side. Inhale, coming back up. And exhale, coming over to the right-hand side. Warming the abdominals still. Ground down through the lower back, so even sort of pressing down through the left kind of oblique, or the back side of the abdominals there, as we're keeping the tailbone lifting just a touch. And that's supporting our twist as well. Deep breath in. Back over to the right hand side. One more, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, coming back up. Option to lower the soles of the feet down if you like, or keep the knees lifted. This will make it a little bit more challenging. At this point, you could have a block in between your knees. I mean, we could have had a block there the whole time if that would be a preference. And we're just going to take 3 to 5 breaths here. Recapture that Ujjayi breath if it's fallen away. Recapture that length in the spine. Take a deep breath in. And a long exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. Let's lower down now. Bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. Stay with it. I like to use this pelvic tilt just to keep the movement going, so we can just inhale, arch. And then exhale, lengthen, and we're just sort of releasing the spine as we go here. We'll do 2 or 3 more of those. Inhale, stay with your breath. Creates that lovely rippling sensation up and down the body. It sort of complements the energy flow as well. We're sort of rippling the energy up and down the spine as we inhale, exhale. Grounding down now. Let's do 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Ground down. Draw the right knee in towards the body. Extend the right leg. Press down through the left heel to help support the lower back here. So there's a lifting of the tailbone. We're not so much like in sort of a bridge pose thing. We're actually still grounded through the tailbone, but with ample pressure through the heel. I'm going to flex back on the toe and rock over here. So we're in this twist, but my shoulders are grounded and we're just opening up over the side of, or the IT band of the right leg. And come back up. Let's swap sides and use the next exhale to come over. press into the heel, open up over the left hand side, the left IT band. Coming back up, inhaling. And swapping sides, exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Coming back up. One more, we're going to hold for a couple of breaths on each side. So let's exhale, come over. We're in this twist. If you want to lift a little bit further into the posture, you can. If you do, try to make sure you're grounding through the lower abdominals and tilting the pelvis forward. It's not all happening in this left leg. In theory, we could have the left knee lifted, but we won't go there just yet. Remember your upper body here. Stay long in the neck, stay long in the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. If you want to tip over further, you can. Inhale. Exhaling, coming back up. Use the inhale. You can even bend this right knee. In fact, definitely bend that right knee just to take any pressure away from the lower back, any potential for strain there. Use the next exhale to come over. Now my whole pelvis is tipping in line with that left leg. My upper body staying supported. Your arms can be out wide if you like. And exhale. 3 breaths here. I'm pressing into the heel, flexing back on the toe. Deep breath in. Move as deeply or not as you would like into the pose. Deeply or not deeply. I think you get the idea. We've got one more breath to go. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting back up. Bring both knees in towards the body now. Squeeze the knees in towards the ribs. Give yourself some release. Inhale, extend the arms, let the knees fall away from the body. Exhale, squeeze in here. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, squeezing in. One more of those. Inhaling. Exhaling. And release. Lower the soles of the feet down now. And bring the hands down to the lower back. Make that little diamond shape, first finger and thumb. Use your next exhale here to squeeze down into the backs of the hands, press into the palms and lifting up in to a seated position, cross-legged. So we'll meet up cross-legged here, and there is the option, as always, to sit up onto a block. In fact, I'm going to sit up onto a block for this one. We're just going to reach the arms out, flip the palms, reach all the way up overhead. Really simple movement, just binding the fingertips together here. I'm pointing through the index finger just to give me that sort of energetic expansion. And I'm going to rock over to the left-hand side, expand up over right side body here. I'm going to inhale, come back up, and exhale over to the left-hand side, pressing through the left fingertips here. Giving that lovely opening. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, coming over to the left-hand side. One more, inhaling, exhaling. I'm going to hold for 3 breaths here. So make sure you're not sort of dipping into the lower back, or definitely not tucking the tailbone too much. We're staying upright. Deep breath in, exhale. That's why it's important to be up on a block. If you're feeling tension in the hips, we want to be elevated. We don't want to compromise the lower back. Reach through that left index finger as you point that finger. Inhale, open the side body. Exhale, let's come back up to a neutral position. I think that was 3. We'll come over to the left-hand side. Remember to ground through the opposite hip. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale, coming back up and bringing hands down to heart center. Now from here, we're going to expand out or reach out, palms together. Now let's expand the elbows out to the sides of the body. Spread your wings, reach out, palms facing away from the body. Take a deep breath in and whichever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go right side over left. We're just going to hug the arms in and wrap the arms around. Give yourself a big hug. I won't overcomplicate it. Stack the elbows on top of one another. Remember which one's stacked because we're going to swap sides. So inhale, reach out. Hopefully I can remember. Exhale. My left elbow's over the top now. And just get an idea for which arm is stacked and what each arm feels like here, because there will be asymmetries, especially with our arms. Usually we have one arm that we use more than the other. 99% of us have one arm we use more than the other. So let's just check in there. Hopefully I'm not repeating myself here as I sort of wrap the arms around. Hopefully I'm transitioning between one and the other. Really open the chest out, but what we want to do here, we've got a couple more. I'm going to wrap this right arm over, stacked on top of the left shoulder. I'm going to press the elbows forward now, still wrapping the palms in, and just separate the shoulder blades away from the spine here. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. Inhaling, exhaling. Remember which arm's stacked. Inhale, sweep out, and exhale. Hug yourself in here. You can go as far as you like. It doesn't matter too much. I prefer to just stack the elbows because that's more sort of a better reference to what we'll be doing later on. And what we're more looking to do is press the elbows away from the body, expand into that space between the shoulder blades. Take a deep breath into the back of the body here, inhaling, exhaling. Now the body is going to want to curl here. Try to keep the elbows pointing horizontally maybe to the floor. Try not to point them towards the front of the mat. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Now let's release. Bring the right leg up. What we'll do is we extend the right leg first. It doesn't really matter as always, but we will start like this. No, I'll swap sides. I'll bend the right leg first, and I'm lifting my ribs up and sort of sliding my lowest rib up the right thigh here. And it doesn't matter how far back you bring this foot. Make sure you're comfortable. Don't overbear the knee. You can bring it right back if you like. I like to just keep it stacked on the heel. Now, from here, we're just bringing the right hand down, taking a deep breath in, reaching out, and exhaling, wrapping in, opening into this right hip. Not so much worrying about the upper body twist too much. But you can start to bring the lower left rib in towards the right thigh here. And we're more drawing this right thigh in and getting that lovely hip opening. So press down into the floor or the block with the hip. Lift up out of your posture here. Take a deep breath in. A long exhale. Inhaling. Let's get press some energy through the heel of this left foot, flex back on the toes. Inhale. Exhale. We'll come back out of the pose. Extend right leg. Slide this left foot back. And we'll just come straight into the posture here. Now, remember this right rib is kind of sliding up the left thigh there. Try not to lift or try not to sort of sink into the right hip here. Try to stay equally grounded. Lift through the spine. You can bring the gaze out over your left shoulder, maybe finding a drishti gaze here. Let's find energy through and strength through this right leg as well. Lengthen the neck. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then release. Coming all the way back around. Now, from here, we'll just cross the legs, get rid of this block, and we'll come straight up onto hands and knees. So here we are, hands and knees. Now, instead of just moving through your sort of traditional cat-cow, what we want to do is become more aware of our shoulder blades and this sort of internal-external rotation of the shoulders. So we're going to do these lovely little sort of shoulder blade crunches, I call them. I hate the word crunches, but that's kind of what they are. So what we're doing is I'm letting my chest drop. I'm keeping my arms straight, not locked, but straight. engaged. I'm letting my chest drop and I'm letting my elbow, my shoulder blades pinch in towards one another. So you might even sort of be feeling your shoulder blades pinch the fabric on your top. And then we're separating the shoulder blades away. There's a lot of strength involved here. It doesn't happen straight away, so have a bit of a play with it. And press away. Sinking down. And press away. So we just want to notice that sort of internal, external rotation of the shoulder blades there. Very nice. Press away from the mat, find neutral positioning there with the shoulder blades. From here, we're just going to tuck the toes and come straight into our downward dog because we're nicely warmed up in the shoulders after all of that. Press into the heels, find your downward dog, and the hamstrings are probably ready for it at this point with those few little lengthening movements. So we're just going to start to walk out through the heels here. Find your breath, find your focus, checking back in. Now, if this means coming back down into Balasana, into child's pose for a moment, that's fine as well. Always remembering you're practicing to your ability, practicing to the available energy levels. Don't ever push yourself too far. Couple more breaths here. Inhaling. Feeling the sides of the body, exhaling. We'll come back to a neutral position, squeeze down through both heels, probably still bending the knees, lift the tailbone, lengthen the spine, deep breath in, long exhale. Step through with the right foot. Let's take a lunge here. Let's lower down onto the left knee, untuck the toes, inhale, peel away, soften the elbows, lift the chest. And exhale, sink in, big hip opening there. One more of those. Gentle back bend if you feel it's available. Exhale, fold forward. Stepping back, straight back into downward dog here. Deep breath in. Exhale, stepping through left foot. Dropping down just for a low lunge here, sweeping up. Sinking down, big hip flexor opening there. Keep the tailbone tucked, ripple up into a gentle back bend. And then exhale, fold forward. Stepping back to downward dog. Let's do one more of those. Press through the heels, inhale. Exhale, step right foot through as best you possibly can. Drop down left knee, sweep up, inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Stepping back, so we didn't take the extra breath there, we're just sort of flowing through, one breath per movement. We'll do the same on the other side, inhale. Exhale, step through. Inhale, sweep up. Same again, one breath per movement. So dip in as you inhale. Open the chest as you inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Find downward dog again. And we will meet up, walking out through the heels once more, taking 3 breaths here maybe. Very nice. Let's find a neutral positioning here. Take a deep breath in. Ground down through both heels. Lift tailbone towards the ceiling, opening up over the hamstrings, lengthening spine. Deep breath in. Step right foot through once more. Drop down to the left knee. Inhale. Press the chest forward. And this old chestnut as we extend the right leg and just start to find a bit of hamstring opening here. Inhale, come forward, lift the chest. Exhale. Equal weight through the front foot. Inhale. Now exhaling, find that equal pressure through the front foot and lift all 10 toes if you like. Let's take a couple of breaths here. We'll aim for 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhaling. Now we're going to take the next variation of the pose. So you can bring yourself forward and we can start to walk the hands out over. So the left hand's in front of the left hand's on the outside of the right foot, should I say. We're in a little bit of a twist here. We're more just extending out over this left side body and then countering that by extending out over the lower right side body here. So really press down into the inner knuckle, or I was going to say the index toe, the big toe there. Feel that lovely hamstring opening. If you wanted to, you could extend here or lift the toes, should I say. And that might be nice, but it's not mandatory. See how it feels. Let's take 3 breaths. Inhale and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Coming forward now. Stepping back to downward dog. And we can just slide straight back, or however you like to come back through. Just 1 breath in between. Inhale and exhale. Let's find a low lunge on the left side. Untuck the toes. Deep breath in. Bringing the chest forward. We're opening into this right hip flexor here. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. Let's aim for 5 breaths here. Now nice half Hanumanasana, half sort of splits pose or variation of. Gently pressing down through the ribs. Finding length in the spine. Bring the shoulders away from the ears here. Give yourself a long exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Was that 5? I think it was 5. And then we're going to come forward. We're going to find the variation here. So I'm going to walk my hands over. It feels a little bit trickier on this side. So always being sort of mindful of what it feels like. I don't know. It feels like there's a little bit more resistance here. So I'm probably going to not push myself so far into it. I'm gently sort of aiming my right ribs towards the left knee and equalizing the weight here and expanding out over this right arm. Now, it might not look as dramatic if you're doing it, or you might be extending the leg completely. It doesn't matter. Make it work for you. Let's take a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, we could flex back on the toes if you like. Now, I find it creates a little bit more pull behind the knee joint, and that's more of a tendon stretch than a muscle stretch. We don't want that too much. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. And let's bring the hands all the way back around here. We might bring this left knee forward. Let's tuck the toes on the right side. Step back into downward dog. Take 3 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel the hamstrings opening up now if you like. If you're feeling warmth in the body, you can press through the heels. Lift the hips. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale. 1 more of those. Inhaling. Exhaling. And we're just going to walk towards the front of the mat from here. So taking steps, you can bend the knees a lot for this one if you like. Making sure the feet are at hip distance. We'll slide the hands up the shins, take our half lift, inhale, lengthen. Bend the knees a little bit, make sure they're not knocking inwards. You could put a block there if you feel like you need the stability. Wrap the hands around, take a forward fold here. Let's give it 3 to 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. I'm flexing back on the toes. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Release or create a bit more bend in the knees just to support the lower back here. We're going to inhale, lift the chest. Now, from here, I'm going to bring my hands down to the mat and step the left foot back to warrior one here. Make sure you've got a bit of space in between the feet. We're not standing on a tightrope too much. And then bring this knee forward, tuck the tailbone, sweep up, find your warrior one. Sink down. Take 3 breaths here, pressing forward into this left hip, squaring the hips off. If you need to spin into that back heel a little bit more, that's fine. You can have hands at heart center or reaching up, hands to hips, doesn't matter too much. Give yourself 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Grounding down. Deep breath in. Let's exhale, fold forward. Step the left foot forward in the same breath even, if you're feeling adventurous. Let's take a deep breath in now. Lift the chest. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back. 45-degree angle, warrior one set up here. Bring the energy forward, stack the knee above the heel, sweep up. Or hands to heart center. Lower ribs drawing in, sinking down. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Find your drishti gaze, find your ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale. Even take a little back bend if you feel it's available. Exhale, fold forward in the same breath. You could even try to step forward. Now, deep breath in, same again. Exhale, spill forward, bend the knees a lot, step the left foot back, find your warrior one, set up here, bring the knee forward, inhale, sweep up. Parsvottanasana. Hands to elbows or reverse prayer, or hands to hips. Either way, straightening out through the right knee. Make sure your foot is in line with your knee here and tipping forward. I think hands to elbow is just quite a nice sort of variation. Try to create as much length between tailbone and crown of the head as possible. Press down through that back heel and now start to lift the tailbone away from the mat. Keep that length in the spine, that nice brightness in the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. We're going to bend the knees. Bend the right knee. Release the hands. Inhale. Warrior one. Exhale, fold forward. Step back. Half lift here. Inhaling. Exhale, stepping back with the right foot. Or the opposite foot, whichever foot you've decided to take. Let's inhale, sweep up. Bring the hands down, find your bind, whatever that might be. Might just be hands to hips, might be crossing the wrists, doesn't matter too much. We also don't want to be sort of over drawing the shoulder blades together as well. We want neutral shoulders still. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. We're looking for 5 breaths here. Remember, finding that length, tailbone to crown. Equal weight through front foot. Grounding through back heel. Expanding through the chest. Deep breath in, ujjayi breath. Exhale. One more, inhaling. Exhale, bend that left knee now, release the hands, sweep up. And then exhale, fold forward. Step the right foot forward. Now I'm going to come back into the center of the mat just to make things easier, but you don't need to. Bring hands to elbows, take some lower back release here. Let yourself dangle for a moment. You can bend into one knee, extend into the opposite, the other leg. Try to keep the heels, try to keep the arches active here. Pressing down into that knuckle behind the big toe. Release the hands. Bend the knees. Sweep the hands out in front. Keep the knees stacked. Sweep the hands out in front and come all the way up into your standing position here. Bring the hands down to the hips. Spread the toes out, left foot. Bend the right knee. Grounding down through left side. Elevating, taking flight on the right side. Now that might mean just having your toe on the ground. What we want to do here is just play with, trusting that weight in the left foot. And you might have your foot on a block too, that's fine as well. Take a couple of breaths. If you are lifting your knee all the way, tuck the tailbone under and press down through the left heel with a soft bend in that left knee. Your balance will improve if you don't lock into the knee. Now, wherever you are, the next movement we're going to take is placing the right foot on the outside of the left foot. And that's as far as we're going for now. Make sure you're finding your balance, your stability. Tuck the tailbone and squeeze this right ankle into the outside of the left shin. Now, my right elbow is going to track underneath my left arm here. And I'm hugging in. And this is as far as we might go, and that's fine. And we're just going to play with our stability here. You can even play with taking a little bit of weight off the toe of that right foot. And then we're just bringing the backs of the hands together. And that's it. We can start to reach the elbows up a little bit, and you're going to feel that separation between the shoulder blades we've been playing with. Take a deep breath in, and a long exhale. Try to press the arms together here. Try not to let the wrists curl too much. It will take away from that lovely shoulder opening. A deep breath in, and release. The hardest part is remembering what side you just did. So let's place the right foot down. Before I forget, I'm going to spread out over the right foot, lift the left knee up, possibly. Maybe the toe stays here, or maybe I just lift the left knee. Whatever's working for you. You might just be playing with taking the toe off the ground, and that's cool as well. Maybe you're playing with just trusting the weight in that soft bent right knee and tucking the tailbone. If you're up in your balance, then that's fine as well. Taking a couple of breaths here. Find a drishti gaze. Find your breath. Wherever that left foot is, let's start to bring it out to the outside of the right foot and press the heel into the outside of the right shin. Now, bend this right knee a little bit until you feel the right knee sort of press into the back of the left knee. And that's plenty for now. Let's bring the left arm underneath the right arm. Hug in. This might be as far as we go, or we might bring the backs of the hands together. We might be pressing the wrists together. We might be playing with lifting that toe away, that left toe away from the mat. Find your drishti gaze. Maybe your hands are still here, that's fine as well. You can lift the elbows a little bit if you like. Remember to press the wrists or press the arms together. And then unfold the arms, bring that left foot back down to the ground, flip the palms over, reach up. And we're going to bring hands back to heart center here. Close the eyes and just ground down through the soles of the feet again. It's really nice after sort of taking flight like that and building the energy up to little peak poses like that. It's nice to just ground down. You can even just have a soft gaze if you like. Let's just take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Deep breath in. Open the eyes. Wherever you are, soften the knees. Exhale, spill forward. Lower ribs meet the thighs here. Slide the hands up the shins. Find a half lift. Release the lower back. Neutralize. Exhale, bend the knees. Step back. Come down to hands and knees here. Untuck the toes. Balasana, child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Nice long exhale. Deep breath in. Option to have the knees wide here. And I'm even going to stop killing the breath here. You just let your breath fall back into a natural rhythm. Doesn't matter how many breaths we take, just give yourself a moment. If you want to shift the hips from side to side a bit, that's cool as well. And then we'll come back up onto hands and knees here and walk the knees towards the wrists. Start to make our way into a reclining position. Before we go any further, just to counter those sort of internal hip rotations, we will take our Buddha Konasana here. There's the option to lift up onto a block, and that's fine as well. Otherwise, we're just drawing ourselves forward, tipping the pelvis forward, keeping the neck long, spine long, chest bright, a little bit of weight down or pressure down through the elbows into the shins there. Taking a couple of breaths here. Looking for a bit of release in the lower back. You'll feel that sort of space expand out from sort of where your trapezius finishes out over the hips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last one, inhale. Let's let ourselves fold in here. Exhale just for this last breath. Extend the spine, lengthen back out. You can assist the knees back in towards the midline if you like. Let's shift forwards, slide the hips forward, deep breath in. Lowering down. Reclining pigeon. Of course, we had to. All this hip opening and we need the lower back release. So let's go for it. Bring the left knee in. Bind the fingers around behind that left knee, or the shin if you like. And flex, dorsiflex back on the right toes. Lengthen the back of the neck. Try not to curl the shoulders in too much. Stay neutral in the shoulders and take some breath here. I'm not going to tell you how many to do. Let the speed and the depth of your breath dictate that. Give yourself a nice deep opening in the hip. Let the tailbone lift away from the mat for this one. Nice big opening, nice big hip opening. Let's release, unfold, and swap sides here. Of course, always being mindful of the asymmetries of our body. This left hip for me is always a little bit more resistant. So I'm going to start with my hands on just behind my knee here. And I can already actually feel a nice big opening there. Reaching for the knee there. It's fine, but I wouldn't want to go any further. You wouldn't want to take away from the posture if it's lifting the chin to get to that stage. You don't want to be doing so. Never let ego get in the way. Always move from where you are. Flex back on these left toes. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Deep breath in. Give yourself a nice long exhale. Maybe one more breath. Really squeeze in, feel the body release, feel that hip opening, and then lower that right foot down, lower the left foot down. Feet out nice and wide. Let's meet back up in this twist we started off on. Now I instinctively went over to the left-hand side, but it doesn't matter what side we start on. Once again, there's a slight tuck of the tailbone just to protect the lower back there. Staying with it. Let's hold over to the right hand side. Give yourself a couple of breaths here. I'm just shifting my left ankle back to give myself a little bit of push away from the mat there. I'm definitely scooping the tailbone under. I'm definitely finding length in the back of the neck here. And to the other side. You can shift the heel back if you want to give yourself a bit more traction to sort of lift that right hip. And then we'll come back to a neutral position. Get yourself nice and neutral here if you want to take some intuitive movement, if you need any more movement to settle yourself in, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to make our way into Savasana. Extend the legs, let the toes fall out to the side. Take a deep breath in, let go of that Ujjayi breath. Feel the body, feel the chest, feel the belly. Deep, full breath here. Let the arms fall out to the side, closing the eyes even. Let yourself settle in completely. Let go of everything that just happened. Let yourself ground back down into the earth. It's quite a flighty sequence. A lot of upward energy. Feel the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground, in contact with the mat or the floor, or wherever you are. Feel them sort of rooting down. Imagine the air, the gravity is sort of just wrapping around you like a blanket. Let yourself settle into stillness here. Once again, let it all go. Just for a few more moments. And then start to move the body around a little bit. Whatever intuitive movement comes to mind. And then we'll make our way up into a seated position, meeting up, cross-legged, with hands at heart center. Sealing our practice, as always, with gratitude for ourselves, our bodies, our ability to change and learn and grow and adapt. For the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe, we'll take a deep breath in. Namaste.